Tourism tax on foreign tourists in Osaka? Osaka Prefecture is considering a tourism tax on foreign tourists. The governor of Osaka Prefecture aimed to implement it on the occasion of the World Expo 2025 in Osaka, but the plan will be revised due to experts' opinions. Osaka Prefecture is moving forward with plans to implement a levy on foreign tourists, the first of its kind in Japan. With tourism from around the world rebounding rapidly post-pandemic, the prefecture intends to charge 100 to 300 yen, 64 cents to $1.91 per person to fund measures against over-tourism. However, there are numerous issues with implementation, including potential conflicts with treaties that require equal treatment of foreigners. Governor Hirofumi Yoshimura announced his aim to introduce the levy during the March session of the Prefectural Assembly. The concept resembles a tourism tax imposed exclusively on foreign visitors, with the revenue expected to be used to address issues such as littering and congestion in public transportation. On April 24, Osaka Prefecture and experts held the first panel discussion about the implementation of the levy. 7 committee members, including university professors specializing in tax systems and tourism policy, will examine the specific uses and collection methods of the levy and issue a report. The background of the situation is linked to the rapid increase in foreign tourists, driven by factors such as the weak yen. According to the Osaka Convention and Tourism Bureau, the estimated number of foreign visitors to Osaka Prefecture in 2023 was 9,798,000, recovering to 85% of the pre-pandemic level of 2019. Nationwide, the estimated number of foreign tourists in March this year surpassed 3 million for the first time in a single month, reaching approximately 3,080,000. At the initial meeting, Governor Yoshimura expressed the view that the upward trend would continue and emphasized,
to achieve harmonious coexistence and mutual prosperity between foreign tourists and residents, we kindly request that foreign tourists bear a certain charge. This is necessary for Osaka and the future of Japan.
Regarding the amount of the levy, Governor Yoshimura suggests 100 to 300 yen, 64 cents, $1.91. If set at 100 yen, a simple calculation based on the 2023 figures would yield approximately 980 million yen, $6,474,300 in revenue. However, there are various hurdles to implementing the entry fee. The tax treaties that Japan has concluded with various countries include a provision to prohibit discrimination between the contracting parties. This is why the international tourist tax of 1,000 yen, $6.36 per departure, which the government collects uniformly from people leaving Japan, applies to both foreigners and Japanese. If an entry fee were to be introduced and limited exclusively to foreigners, it could potentially violate the provision. At the first meeting of the prefecture's expert panel, Professor Hironori Yamaguchi of Ritsumeikan University, Social Psychology, raised the issue of the difficulty in defining foreign tourists. He pointed out that there is also the possibility of considering Japanese people who do not reside in Osaka as foreigners, and stated,
we need to carefully consider fair levy.
One strong proposal is to request that hotels and ryokan collect the levy, as well as the accommodation tax that the prefecture already charges. This tax ranges from 100 to 300 yen, 64 cents to $1.91 per night for guests staying at hotels and inns within the prefecture. However, this would increase the burden on businesses due to inputting more data into their systems, and a backlash would also be expected. The timing of the implementation is also a point of discussion. Initially, Governor Yoshimura indicated that he aimed to introduce the levy starting in April next year when the Osaka Kansai Expo opens. However, Dimitri Kerkentzes, Secretary General of the Bureau International des Expositions in Paris, expressed concerns during a meeting with Governor Yoshimura on April 10. He stated,
visitors from overseas might feel that we are not welcome.
Kerkentzes requested that the implementation be postponed until after the expo. Governor Yoshimura adjusted his stance, clarifying,
we don't intend to force it to coincide with the expo.
To inform about the new system, a period is needed. An executive of the prefecture stated, it will be impossible to have it ready in time for the expo. Charging an entry fee to foreign tourists is not uncommon in other countries. In Bali, Indonesia, the province of Bali implemented a system in February requiring foreign tourists to pay 150,000 rupees, approximately $9.57 to protect cultural heritage and the natural environment. The payment is made through a dedicated website or at airports, and tourists are required to present proof of payment at tourist facilities on the island. Officials from the Bali provincial government explained,
Part of the taxes paid by Indonesians domestically is also used for the preservation of cultural heritage and natural resources in Bali. We are not only asking foreign tourists to bear the burden, and we do not believe it violates provisions of tax treaties.
On the other hand, there are many cases where the entry fees are imposed without distinguishing between locals and foreigners. In Venice, Italy, known as the City of Water, entry fees for day trip tourists to the historic city center have been collected since April. The purpose is to control crowds, and the fee is €5, approximately $5.44. Payment can be made online in advance or on site. Kyoto City is also considering increasing the accommodation tax within a range of 200 yen, approximately $1.30, to 1,000 yen, roughly $6.40, as a source of funding for measures against over-tourism issues.